Hello, New Mexico residents, or those of you who are looking to move to New Mexico. We're going to talk today about New Mexico FHA loans and what the requirements are to getting a mortgage, an FHA loan in New Mexico. So the thing that you need to understand is that FHA guidelines are the same everywhere, regardless as to which state you're purchasing in. The only thing that will be different are the loan limits, which I'll get to in a few minutes. So for the most part, you're going to need to be working for the past 2 years, full-time employment, unless you have another situation which will grant you an exception. So for example, if you were in the military and you haven't been out for 2 years, you can get an FHA loan. If you were in college and now you're working and full-time and you've been working for a little while but not quite 2 years, you can still get an FHA loan. So there are some exceptions. Also, even though the guidelines require a 2-year work history, you can still get an FHA loan even if you have not been at your current job for 2 years. Now, some lenders require you to be at your current job for 2 years, but that is not an FHA requirement. That's something that a lender is asking for. It does not have to be, you do not have to be employed at the same place for the past 2 years. You're going to need a down payment of 3.5% if your credit scores are over 580. If they're below 580, then you're going to need a down payment of 10%. If you're not sure what your credit scores are, then in the description of the video below, I'm going to put a link to where you can track and monitor your scores without having them negatively impact your scores, which is a helpful thing. Your debt to income ratio. This is going to be a calculation that determines how much you can qualify for. So for FHA loans, you can go up to 56.9% debt to income ratio, which will allow you to qualify for maybe the highest mortgage amount versus some of the other loan programs. So if you're trying to stretch your buying power, an FHA loan would be a good loan for you. Recent bankruptcies. So if you've had a Chapter 7, you can get an FHA loan if you have surpassed 2 years, beyond your discharge date. A Chapter 13, however, though, you can still get an FHA loan after you have made at least 12 on-time Chapter 13 bankruptcy payments. So these are just a couple of examples of the guidelines to qualify for a New Mexico FHA loan. If you would like to get a quote, want to speak to someone, see where you are at. Maybe you're not buying right now, but just want to speak to someone to make sure you're planning this out properly so that way you're ready in about 6 months. Then just follow the link down below in the description and also the first pinned comment about New Mexico FHA loans, and we'll be able to help you there. If you have any questions that you want to ask right here, just put them down in the comments below. I'll respond. I appreciate you watching today, and I hope you have a great day.